Tesla stocks are surging this morning after the company finally announced its long-awaited next-generation model of explosions. According to CEO Elon Musk, the premium high-performance exploding Tesla Series XP is set to debut later this month.
It is now 18 years since Tesla began producing electric vehicles in 2008, and the company has remained at the center of the EV revolution. But now Elon Musk has revealed a new Tesla engine that could change the future of transportation. The announcement has left many people, including figures like Joe Rogan, curious about what Tesla has created. Reports suggest this new innovation comes with major improvements and could give Tesla another advantage over competitors. So, what makes this new Tesla's engine different, and why could it change the electric vehicle industry forever? Stay tuned as we uncover the truth behind Tesla's latest breakthrough. Why Tesla's new engine is a game changer. During a recent episode of the Joe Rogan Experience, Joe Rogan expressed his surprise over Tesla's new engine technology and shared his thoughts on how the company's journey began and what made its technology stand out in today's automotive world. Tesla's success is often linked to Elon Musk and his vision for the future.
So in the future, it will be strange to see someone actually driving themselves in a car.
Yes.
But according to Rogan, one of the biggest reasons Tesla became a game changer in the automobile industry is something many people rarely notice. Let's find out what truly made Tesla a force that changed the way the world sees electric vehicles. The interesting story of Tesla is that it did not become successful because it built the first electric car. Electric cars had existed long before Tesla arrived. In fact, the history of electric transportation goes back more than a century. Many companies tried and failed to make electric cars practical. Some were too expensive, others could not travel far enough. A few simply arrived before the technology was ready. Tesla entered an industry where many people doubted that electric cars could ever compete with traditional gasoline-powered vehicles. That belief started changing in California during the early years of Tesla. The company was still young and fighting for survival. Money was tight, production problems were everywhere, and many had expected the company to fail. Yet while much of the attention focused on Tesla's batteries, engineers inside the company were quietly working on another problem. They wanted to build a motor that could do things most competitors thought were impossible. Years later, engineer Sandy Munro took a closer look at what Tesla had built. As the founder of Munro and Associates, Munro had spent decades analyzing vehicles from major automakers, breaking them down to identify flaws in areas where manufacturers could improve. His evaluation of Tesla revealed why the company's engineering approach was different from traditional car makers. In 2021, engineer Sandy Munro examined Tesla's motor during one of his vehicle teardowns. Munro was not a Tesla supporter trying to praise the company. He was an experienced engineer whose work involved studying vehicles from major car manufacturers and finding problems in their designs. After years of analyzing cars from companies in the United States, Germany, Japan, and South Korea, his reaction to Tesla's motor attracted attention. Instead of finding major weaknesses, he saw a design that showed Tesla was doing something different. The part that surprised him most was the rotor inside the electric motor. The rotor is one of the most important parts of an electric motor because it is the part that spins and helps turn electrical energy into movement. Without it, the motor cannot create the force needed to move the vehicle. However, making a rotor spin faster comes with a serious challenge. When a rotor spins at very high speeds, it faces extreme pressure. The faster it moves, the stronger the forces trying to pull it apart. If the material cannot handle the pressure, the rotor can break. This was a challenge that engineers around the world had faced for years. Tesla's solution was a carbon fiber sleeve placed around the rotor. This sleeve helped hold the rotor together even when it was spinning at extremely high speeds. The idea was simple, but making it work required advanced engineering. The material had to be strong enough to handle the pressure while still keeping the motor lightweight and efficient. This design allowed Tesla's motors to spin at more than 20,000 revolutions per minute. That gave Tesla a major advantage because a faster motor could produce more power without needing to become much larger. Instead of building a heavy motor to create more performance, Tesla found a way to get more output from a smaller system. The results became clear with the launch of the Tesla Model S Plaid in 2021.
It is now time. It is the moment we've been waiting for a long time, and it is time to deliver Model S.
The vehicle produced over 1,000 horsepower and could accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in less than 2 seconds. Those numbers placed it among the fastest production cars in the world. But the important part was not only the speed, it was how Tesla achieved that speed using electric technology. Traditional high-performance vehicles often focus on producing more power, but that usually comes with higher fuel use and more heat. Tesla had a different goal. The company wanted to create a vehicle that could deliver incredible performance while still being efficient. One of the biggest advantages of Tesla's motor was that it wasted less energy. Electric motors lose some energy as heat during operation. When less energy is lost, more electricity goes directly into moving the vehicle. This helps improve both performance and driving range. The smaller size of Tesla's motor also created other benefits. A compact motor takes up less space, giving engineers more freedom when designing the rest of the vehicle. The extra space can be used for batteries, passenger room, or storage. It also helps reduce the complexity of the vehicle. However, producing this type of motor on a large scale was not easy. The carbon fiber sleeve required accuracy during manufacturing. The materials had to be placed correctly, and the entire process had to be controlled carefully. Small mistakes could affect the motor's performance and reliability. This is one reason many companies have struggled to match Tesla's design. Tesla's ability to manufacture these systems also improved over time. Its Fremont factory in California helped the company develop production methods. Later, Gigafactory Shanghai in China, Gigafactory Berlin in Germany, and Gigafactory Texas in the United States expanded Tesla's manufacturing ability. These factories allowed the company to produce more vehicles while improving efficiency. Tesla's focus has also moved beyond making powerful motors. During its 2023 Investor Day, the company discussed plans to reduce the use of rare earth materials in future motors. These materials are important in many electric vehicles, but reducing dependence on them could help lower costs and make production more stable. The reason Tesla has remained competitive is because it focuses on improving many areas at once. A better motor can improve speed and efficiency. Lower production costs can make vehicles more affordable. More affordable vehicles can attract more customers and increase Tesla's growth. Tesla's success is not only because it built fast electric cars. It came from solving difficult engineering problems and finding new ways to improve electric vehicles. But despite all the innovations Tesla has brought to the automobile industry, it is not the only company competing in the electric vehicle race. Several other manufacturers are developing their own electric vehicles technology and challenging Tesla's position. Let's find out who they are, the companies fighting Tesla for the future of electric cars. For years, Tesla looked almost impossible to challenge. The company entered the market when many people believed electric cars would remain an experiment, yet it slowly forced the biggest names in the automobile industry to change their plans. As of today, Tesla is no longer alone. Around the world, other automobile companies have entered the race, and some of them have found areas where they can compete or even move ahead. One of the biggest names challenging Tesla today is BYD. The company was founded in 1995 by Wang Chuanfu and is based in Shenzhen, China. Unlike Tesla, which started as a technology company trying to enter the automobile world, BYD came from a background in batteries before moving deeper into vehicle production. That history became one of its greatest advantages. BYD understood battery manufacturing better than many competitors because it had spent years developing that part of the business. With China's massive domestic market behind it, BYD was able to produce millions of vehicles at lower prices and quickly became one of the largest electric car manufacturers in the world. In terms of sales volume, BYD has become one of Tesla's strongest rivals. Its affordable models attracted customers who wanted electric cars without paying premium prices. The company also benefited from strong support inside China, where the government has encouraged the growth of domestic electric vehicle manufacturers. Yet Tesla still has advantages that BYD has not fully matched. Tesla's software system remains one of its strongest weapons. The company built its cars around updates, data collection, and a connected driving experience. Tesla also has a powerful global brand and one of the largest fast-charging networks in the world.
More than half a dozen Tesla supercharger nozzles were cut and stolen from a charging station outside Target in Vallejo this past weekend.
The competition between the two companies becomes even more interesting in China. BYD has a clear advantage because it understands the local market better. It offers cheaper vehicles and has a strong relationship with Chinese customers. Yet Tesla remains one of the most recognized foreign car brands in the country, and its technology continues to attract buyers. The next major competitor comes from a completely different background. Volkswagen, one of the oldest automobile companies in the world, has been preparing for the electric future from its headquarters in Wolfsburg, Germany. For decades, Volkswagen built its reputation through traditional cars. Now it is trying to rebuild that reputation through its electric models, including the ID series. Volkswagen has something Tesla never had when it started: decades of manufacturing experience. The company already knew how to produce vehicles at a massive scale. It had factories around the world, thousands of dealers, and a strong customer base, especially across Europe. That experience gives Volkswagen an advantage. A customer buying a Volkswagen electric car is often buying from a company they have trusted for years. The company also has a large repair and service network that Tesla is still building in many regions. But the challenge for Volkswagen is that the electric car market rewards different strengths. Tesla was created around software, batteries, and direct sales. Volkswagen had to transform a company built around traditional manufacturing. Tesla's ability to combine hardware and software remains one of the areas where it continues to stand ahead. Then came Rivian, a company that entered the market with a different idea. Founded in 2009 by R.J. Scaringe, Rivian did not try to compete with Tesla by copying its approach. Instead, it focused on adventure vehicles. The company built the R1T pickup truck and R1S sport utility vehicle around outdoor lifestyles. It wanted customers to think about camping, exploring, and traveling rather than simply commuting. That image helped Rivian create a unique identity in a crowded market. However, Rivian faces a problem that many young automobile companies struggle with. Building vehicles is expensive. Building thousands of cars is very different from producing hundreds of thousands. Tesla spent years overcoming manufacturing challenges, while Rivian is still working to scale production and reduce costs. Another company chasing the luxury side of the market is Lucid. Lucid was founded by Peter Rawlinson and based in California. It entered the competition with a clear goal: build some of the most advanced electric luxury cars in the world. The Lucid Air became known for its impressive driving range and high-end interior. In some areas, Lucid has even challenged Tesla directly. Its vehicles offer a premium experience, and the company has shown that electric cars can compete with the most expensive luxury brands. But Lucid faces the same challenge as many smaller companies. Great technology does not always translate into large sales. Tesla has factories producing vehicles at a much higher level, a stronger charging network, and a much larger customer base. Building a great car is one thing, building millions of them is another. While many companies from the United States and China receive attention, South Korea has become a major player. Hyundai and Kia surprised many people with their electric vehicles built on the EGMP platform. Their cars gained praise because they offered strong performance, reliable quality, and very fast charging. Hyundai and Kia benefited from years of automobile experience. They understood how to build dependable vehicles, and they used that knowledge to create electric cars that many customers considered serious alternatives to Tesla. Another Chinese company, Xpeng, focused heavily on intelligent driving technology.
One of our reporters went to China to test it out anyway and find out how its autonomous driving system handles parking, navigating in hectic environments, and what sort of situations still make the driver have to take control.
It became one of China's answers to Tesla's software ambitions. The company has invested heavily in driver assistance features and hopes to compete in the same area where Tesla has built much of its reputation. So who is really winning the electric car race? The answer depends on what part of the race people are looking at, but at the moment, Tesla remains one of the strongest companies in software, production, and global recognition. But how did the world even begin moving toward electric vehicles? What problems forced the automobile industry to search for a different future? The answer goes beyond technology. Why the world started adopting electric vehicles. The history of electric cars started long before Tesla and Elon Musk entered the industry. Decades ago, inventors were already exploring ways to create vehicles powered by electricity instead of gasoline. They were looking for a cleaner alternative to the fuel-powered cars that would later become the standard around the world. The first experiments with electric transportation started in the early 19th century. Between 1828 and 1835, inventors in Europe began building some of the earliest electric carriages. One of the names connected to this period was Ányos Jedlik, a Hungarian inventor who created early electric motor designs. Another was Robert Anderson from Scotland, who developed one of the first electric carriages powered by batteries. These early machines were far from the vehicles people recognize today. They were slow, expensive, and limited by the technology of the time. Batteries could not store much energy, and charging them was difficult. Yet the idea had already appeared. The dream of using electricity to move people existed more than 100 years before it became a global movement. The real progress came later in the 19th century. During the 1880s and 1890s, electric vehicles started becoming more practical. Engineers in Europe and America improved electric motors and battery systems, making vehicles that could actually be used on city streets. At the time, electric cars were not considered strange experiments. They were serious competitors. In fact, before gasoline cars became dominant, electric vehicles were often seen as the cleaner and more comfortable choice. They were easier to operate and did not produce the smoke and smell that came from early gasoline engines. One of the most surprising parts of this history is that electric vehicles were already popular before Henry Ford changed the automobile industry. Many people today assume gasoline cars were always the obvious choice, but that was not true. In the late 19th century, there was a real competition between steam cars, gasoline cars, and electric cars. The electric car even found a place in one of the busiest cities in America. During the late 1890s, New York City had electric taxis operating on the streets of Manhattan. Companies saw an opportunity to use electric vehicles for transportation because they were reliable for short city trips. Many wealthy Americans believe electric cars had several advantages. They did not require the difficult process of starting a gasoline engine. Early gasoline cars often needed a hand crank, which could be dangerous and physically demanding. Electric cars started more easily. They were also quieter and cleaner, making them attractive to people who wanted comfort and convenience. But then the automobile world changed forever. In 1908, Henry Ford introduced the Ford Model T. This was the moment that pushed gasoline vehicles ahead of their competitors. Ford did not just build a car. He changed how cars were produced. Through mass production, the Model T became cheaper and available to millions of ordinary Americans. The timing could not have been better for gasoline vehicles. Around the same period, a major discovery changed the energy industry. The Spindletop oil discovery in Texas in 1901 revealed a massive supply of oil and helped increase petroleum production, making fuel more affordable and supporting the growth of gasoline-powered vehicles. Cheap fuel also transformed transportation. Gasoline cars could travel farther, refuel quickly, and operate in areas where electric charging was not available. As roads expanded across America, people wanted vehicles that could take them longer distances. The limitations of early electric cars became harder to ignore. The batteries of that era were the biggest problem. They were heavy, expensive, and could not provide the same range that gasoline vehicles offered. An electric car might work perfectly for a short trip across the city, but long-distance travel remained difficult. Slowly, the electric car disappeared from the public imagination. Gasoline vehicles took control of the roads, and the world entered what became known as the oil century. From the 1920s through the 1960s, gasoline was everywhere. Cars, trucks, and industries were built around oil. The automobile industry grew into one of the largest businesses in the world, with companies like Ford, General Motors, and Chrysler becoming symbols of American manufacturing power. For decades, few people seriously questioned gasoline's dominance. Oil was cheap, vehicles were improving, and consumers wanted bigger and more powerful cars. Electric vehicles became a forgotten chapter of automobile history. Then the world experienced a major shock in 1973. The oil crisis caused fuel prices to rise and created concerns about dependence on foreign oil. Suddenly, countries realized that relying heavily on gasoline created economic and political problems. The crisis did not immediately bring electric cars back, but it planted an important idea. Governments and engineers started asking a question they had ignored for decades. What if transportation could depend on something other than oil? Another major push came from environmental concerns. By the late 20th century, cities like Los Angeles were struggling with severe air pollution. Smog covered the city, and many people began demanding cleaner transportation options. Governments introduced new environmental rules, and automobile companies were forced to consider reducing emissions. One of the most important attempts came from General Motors with the Electric Vehicle One program in the 1990s.
General Motors' push to go all-electric continues to capture national attention, especially this week as we mark Earth Day, and our attention turns to how we can all improve the environment.
The project created one of the first modern electric cars designed for everyday consumers. It showed that electric transportation was possible with better technology. However, the program faced challenges. Battery limitations remained a problem, and the vehicle was never produced on a large scale. Still, it proved something important. The electric car was not dead. It was waiting for better technology. Then Tesla arrived and everything changed. The company was founded in 2003 by Martin Eberhard and Mark Tarpenning. At the beginning, Tesla was a small company with a huge ambition. It wanted to prove that electric cars did not have to be slow or boring. Instead, they could be powerful and desirable. Tesla's rise happened during a period when climate change became a bigger global concern. After the 1997 Kyoto Protocol, many countries began paying closer attention to reducing greenhouse gas emissions. The discussion around cleaner energy became one of the biggest areas of focus. The shift accelerated after the Paris Agreement in 2015. Nearly every major economy agreed that reducing emissions would be necessary to fight climate change. Electric vehicles became one of the main tools governments considered for reaching those goals. Countries began supporting electric cars for several reasons. They wanted cleaner air in cities. They wanted to reduce dependence on imported oil. They also saw an opportunity to build new industries around batteries, technology, and transportation. However, these changes also created a new global competition. Electric vehicles did not only transform the automobile industry, they also created a race between major countries trying to control the future of transportation. The battle is no longer just between companies, but also between regions. Keep watching to see how electric vehicles became a new area of competition between global powers. How electric vehicles have created regional competition. The electric vehicle race is no longer just about cars. It has become a competition between countries, industries, and governments fighting for control over what could become the most important part of transportation in the 21st century. The countries that controlled those industries gained enormous economic power. They built factories, created jobs, influenced global trade, and shaped the future. Now, many governments believe the same thing could happen with electric vehicles. The country that builds the best batteries, produces the most vehicles, and controls the technology behind them may have a major advantage for decades. History has shown this pattern before. During the First Industrial Revolution, Britain became the center of global manufacturing. The country had powerful factories and a strong trading network that connected it to markets around the world. British companies dominated industries such as textiles, steel, and shipbuilding. Britain's success was not only because it could produce goods, the country also built the systems needed to move those products around the world. Britain became a manufacturing powerhouse by combining new technology, available resources, and global trade networks. But that position eventually changed. The automobile age belonged to America. In the early 20th century, companies in Detroit transformed transportation forever. Ford, General Motors, and Chrysler built an industry that became one of the strongest symbols of American manufacturing. Henry Ford changed the world with mass production. The moving assembly line allowed cars to be built faster and cheaper than ever before. Suddenly, owning a vehicle was no longer limited to the wealthy. Millions of ordinary people could buy one. Detroit became known as the center of the automobile world. American car companies created millions of jobs and built supply chains that spread across the country. The success of the automobile industry also increased America's economic influence around the world. The same influence continued into aviation. Companies such as Boeing helped the United States become a leader in aircraft manufacturing. Aviation was not only about transportation, it became connected to defense, trade, and global influence. Now another industry is creating a similar battle. China saw the importance of electric vehicles earlier than many other countries. The Chinese government believed that the future of transportation would not be controlled by traditional gasoline vehicles forever. Instead of trying to catch up later, China decided to build an advantage early. One of the clearest examples was the Made in China 2025 plan. The goal was to strengthen Chinese industries in advanced technology, including electric vehicles and batteries. The government supported companies through investment, policies, and industrial programs designed to help them compete globally. Over time, China built one of the largest electric vehicle manufacturing systems in the world. Cities such as Shenzhen, Shanghai, and Guangzhou became major centers for electric vehicle production. Shenzhen became especially important because of companies like BYD. The company, founded by Wang Chuanfu in 1995, started as a battery manufacturer before becoming one of the biggest electric vehicle companies in the world. BYD became what many countries call a national champion. It benefited from China's industrial strategy and used its battery knowledge to produce affordable vehicles at a massive scale. The company expanded quickly and became a serious competitor to Tesla in global markets. China's advantage is not only in building cars, it also controls a large part of the battery supply chain. Since batteries are one of the most expensive and important parts of an electric vehicle, this gives Chinese companies a major position in the industry. But other regions are not willing to watch from the sidelines. Europe, especially Germany, has been trying to protect its position as a major automobile center. For more than a century, German companies built some of the world's most respected vehicles. Now, companies like Volkswagen, BMW, and Mercedes-Benz are being forced to transform. Volkswagen, based in Wolfsburg, Germany, has invested heavily in electric vehicles through its Identity series. The company knows that the future of transportation is changing, and losing that future could mean losing the influence it built over generations. Germany's challenge is complicated. Its automobile industry is built around traditional engineering and manufacturing. Electric vehicles require a different approach, one that focuses more on software, batteries, and technology. France and Sweden are also trying to compete. Companies across Europe are investing in cleaner transportation, while governments are creating policies to support local production. The future of transportation now depends on a global network that goes beyond car factories. A single electric vehicle can involve minerals from one country, battery technology from another, and manufacturing processes carried out in different parts of the world. This is why electric vehicles have become a geopolitical issue. China, Europe, and America are not only competing to sell cars, they are competing to export technology and manufacturing knowledge. The winner will not just sell vehicles, the winner could control the systems that power future transportation. Among the electric vehicle industries, which one do you think will dominate the market in the near future? Share your opinions with us in the comment section. If you enjoyed the video, like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Also, click the following video on your screen and you will enjoy it.